became very ugly. This contract was truly a scam. Sorry, I can't sign this contract, Lin Feng directly messaged Jiang Min. Why? Hearing that Lin Feng wouldn't sign, Jiang Min became anxious. She knew that if Lin Feng didn't sign, the novel would still belong to Lin Feng. Lin Feng could delete all the chapters already written on the website at any time and then find another novel website to start writing again. Because I think there are many unreasonable clauses in this contract, Lin Feng replied. Hello, Mr. Long Ayashan, if you find any unreasonable clauses in the contract, you can bring them up, and we can discuss them further, Jiang Min quickly replied. Okay, then I'll talk about the parts of the contract I consider unreasonable, Lin Feng replied. First, the contract states that after signing the work, party A can offer referential opinions on the subsequent storyline. What does referential opinions mean? This is my novel, I want to write it however I want. Party A absolutely cannot interfere with my creation in any form. Second, regarding Party B cooperating with Party A for promotion, I'm sorry, but I just want to quietly write my novel. Therefore, the initiative to participate in your company's promotional activities must be in my hands. Third, and most importantly, after my novel is signed, the copyright of this novel somehow belongs to you. Not only that, but all future film and television adaptations and game adaptation copyrights for this novel will also fall into your hands. This is even more impossible. Copyright of my novel must remain in my own hands. If these 3 points are not resolved, then I will absolutely not sign. Lin Feng stated all his demands in one breath. Originally, Lin Feng had thought about uploading more chapters, but now he decided not to upload more chapters for the time being. Instead, he would search online for which novel websites allowed the copyright of works to remain with the author after signing. If this side didn't agree, Lin Feng would delete his novel immediately and transfer it to another platform. Thinking of this, Lin Feng began to search online for information to see if doing so was legal. As a result, he even saw several precedents online, which put Lin Feng at ease. He withdrew all the donation money. Of the over 300,000, after deducting taxes and the website's commission, only 270,000 ultimately reached Lin Feng's hands. This pained Lin Feng. It was truly a ripoff. Jiang Min still wanted to explain to Lin Feng, or rather argue, but she found that Lin Feng was no longer reading or replying. She was just an editor-in-chief and couldn't make such decisions. She quickly sent screenshots of her chat with Lin Feng to her superior, and then called to report the matter. You can't even handle such a small matter, what good are you? On the other end of the phone, the company's general manager loudly reprimanded Jiang Min. Jiang Min quickly apologized, her tone very nervous, but inwardly, she was already cursing. Manager Meng, Long Ayashan's demands are very firm. The first and second demands can be agreed to, but regarding the third demand, Manager Meng, how should I reply to him? Jiang Min asked cautiously at this moment. There was silence from Manager Meng on the other end of the phone. He also didn't dare to make such a decision. However, thinking that he had already put on a tough front, backing down now would make him look like a fool. So Manager Meng coughed once and then said find his phone number in the personal information he filled out when he registered as an author. You don't need to worry about the rest, just leave it to me. After saying that, he hung up the phone without waiting for Jiang Min to speak. After hanging up with Jiang Min, Manager Meng picked up the phone again and dialed another number. Hello, is this Manager Zhang? I'm Meng An. There's something I'd like to report to you. A short while later, Lin Feng's phone rang. The caller ID showed an unknown number. Lin Feng smiled slightly and answered. Hello? Hello, may I speak to Mr. Lin Feng? The voice on the other end of the line asked politely. That's right, I am Lin Feng, Lin Feng said with a smile. Hello, Mr. Lin. I am Zhang Wei, the CEO of Chinese novel website. I heard from our editor that you have some concerns about the contract we drafted. That's right, I think your company's contract has some issues. It's quite unfair to us authors, Lin Feng said softly. Mr. Lin, your information shows your address is in the Magic City. Are you currently in the Magic City? I'm in XXX district of the Magic City. All right then, Mr. Lin, regarding this contract issue, I'd like to discuss the specific details in person. Do you have time today? Of course I have time. Where would you like to meet, CEO Zhang? How about this, Mr. Lin Feng? You choose the location. Once you've decided, you can send me the address, and I'll get there as soon as possible. All right, see you soon. Lin Feng hung up the phone, then quickly got dressed, putting on black clothes, a baseball cap, a mask, and a pair of black-rimmed glasses, covering himself completely. He looked left and right in the mirror, making sure no one would recognize him, then headed out. These days, Lin Feng would dress like this every time he went out. He remembered the first time he went out after he became famous. He was quickly surrounded by a large group of fans. The scene was packed, and it took Lin Feng a long time to get away. After that first lesson, Lin Feng would disguise himself every time he went out. After arriving at a Starbucks not far from his home, Lin Feng sent the location, then found a very secluded corner, ordered some things and waited there. About an hour later, a man in a sharp suit walked into Starbucks, scanned the surroundings, saw Lin Feng wave to him, then nodded at Lin Feng and walked straight over. "Mr. Lin?" Dang Wai asked, looking at Lin Feng. "Hu Zhang?" "Hello, Mr. Lin, I'm Zhang Wai. It's a pleasure to meet you for the first time." Dang Wai extended his hand as he spoke. "Hello, Xiao Zhang, I'm Lin Feng said with a smile. "Mr. Lin, this outfit is." Zhang Wai looked at Lin Feng, who was completely covered, and couldn't help but be a little curious. Lin Feng then took off his mask and glasses, smiled at Zhang Wai and said, "Sorry, Xiao Zhang, I mainly didn't want to cause you any unnecessary trouble." When Lin Feng took off his mask and glasses, Zhang Wai recognized him at a glance. Zhang Wai's mouth dropped open in surprise, then he realized his Chinese letter and quickly said, "I'm sorry, Mr. Lin, I was a bit out of line. I really didn't expect that, Mr. Lin, you are truly Mr. Lin. When I first saw the name Mr. Lin, I thought it was just a coincidence of names. Honestly, Mr. Lin, before I came, I really didn't expect you to be Mr. Lin. To be frank, I deeply admire Mr. Lin's talent. I really enjoy both Mr. Lin's songs and his novels." Yang Wai looked at Lin Feng and said with a smile, "Mr. Lin's lyrics for Blue and White Porcelain are truly exquisite, and the line from his novel, Deep Love Brings Bitter Pain, a lifetime of suffering. Infatuation only leads to suffering for the heartless, is even more stunning." Yang Wai wanted to praise Lin Feng first to gain the upper hand in the upcoming negotiation. "After all, if I'm flattering you this much, wouldn't it be a bit inappropriate for you to be completely unyielding?" And how could Lin Feng not be aware of Zhang Wai's little scheme? "Theo Zhang, you're too kind. Let's talk about the contract." Lin Feng first thanked Zhang Wai for his affirmation, then shifted the topic to the contract. "Okay, since Mr. Lin has brought up the contract, let's get back to the main point." Mr. Lin proposed 3 conditions. The first and second conditions are minor issues, and Chinese novel website can naturally agree to them. As for the third condition, at this point, Zhang Wai glanced at Lin Feng, then started to stammer. "Xiao Zhang, I know what you're thinking. Copyright issues have always been a very important matter, both for your Chinese novel website and for us authors." Lin Feng took a sip of coffee at this moment, and then said softly, "I've researched this online, and I know that many authors at Xiao Zhang's Chinese novel website have fallen out with your website over copyright issues and subsequently left." Zhang Wai looked at Lin Feng without speaking. Lin Feng put down his coffee and continued, "Actually, we all know that once a novel becomes popular, the subsequent revenue it generates is more valuable than the novel itself. Later, things like audiobooks, comic adaptations, film and television adaptations, and turning them into games all represent huge revenue." "That's right. In fact, this is also our website's main source of income. As you know, for each novel's author, the bulk of their royalties goes to them, and our website only collects a small management fee and a share of the platform's profits. Therefore, the copyright of this novel must be controlled by our website," Zhang Wai said at this moment. "But every novel is conceived by the author themselves, typed out word by word. Authors pour their heart and soul into these novels, and for your website to want to obtain the copyright without doing anything, isn't that a bit excessive?" Lin Feng said with a smile at this point. "If there were only one Chinese novel website in the world, you could certainly do that, but you know there are many other novel websites like this in the country, so they actually have many choices, while you only have 2 choices, sign or not sign." "Mr. Lin means that if we don't agree, he will take this novel to another novel website?" Zhang Wai asked, looking at Lin Feng with a grim face. "This is because your group's greed is too obvious, forcing us to do this," Lin Feng continued. Then there's nothing more for me to discuss, Yang Wei said, about to get up and leave, but Lin Feng said unhurriedly, actually, I have an idea. I wonder if CEO Zhang would like to hear it? Lin Feng and Jiang Wei had been sitting in Starbucks for over half an hour, but neither of them was willing to give up on the ownership of the copyright easily. For Jiang Wei, the ultimate copyright of all novels written by authors on the Chinese novel website belonged to the Chinese novel website. Of course, if the IP of the novel was sold, the author would also receive a portion of the money. However, for Lin Feng, the copyright had to remain in his hands. This was his bottom line. Oh, Mr. Lin, honestly, I really can't think of anything else for us to discuss. Yang Wei watched Lin Feng quietly, then slowly spoke. Just then, Lin Feng suddenly said, actually, I also have an idea in mind. I wonder if Mr. Zhang would be willing to hear me out? Hearing this, Jiang Wei paused slightly, but quickly regained his composure, sat back down, elegantly picked up the steaming cup of coffee in front of him, took a sip, and responded softly, Mr. Lin, please, speak freely. Seeing this, the smile on Lin Feng's face grew wider, and he slowly explained, regarding the copyright of Jade Dynasty, my stance is very clear. It must be firmly controlled by me. However, I'm not an unreasonable person. Your website can enjoy the operational rights of the novel. Simply put, you still have the right to sell the IP of Jade Dynasty, but I need to take a 50% cut of the profits earned. As soon as this was said, Jiang Wei couldn't help but frown, secretly lamenting his predicament. He knew very well the current immense popularity of Jade Dynasty, with its brilliant plot and unique setting. Once it was adapted into a film or television series or developed into a game, it would undoubtedly cause a strong market reaction, and the value of its IP should not be underestimated. At that time, no matter whether it was sold to a film and television company or a game developer, it would bring in a considerable income. However, Lin Feng's current condition undoubtedly put him in a dilemma. But Lin Feng wanted to take half, which was a bit too much. He originally wanted to refuse, but just as Lin Feng said, there are many novel websites now. If he did not agree, Lin Feng could transfer the novel to other novel websites and continue updating it at any time. In that case, he would suffer an even greater loss. After thinking for a moment, Jiang Wei raised his coffee cup and said to Lin Feng, then, Mr. Lin, it's a deal. Happy cooperation, Mr. Yang, Lin Feng said softly, a slight smile on his face, the corners of his mouth curving upwards. His voice was gentle and confident, as if full of anticipation and belief in this cooperation. Yang Wei pondered for a moment, then looked up at Lin Feng and slowly said, however, I still have a small request. After speaking, he looked at Lin Feng with an inquiring gaze, seemingly waiting for his reaction. Lin Feng still had a smile on his face and replied, oh, Mr. Yang, please speak. If it doesn't involve a matter of principle, Lin Feng is naturally happy to help. His tone was relaxed and casual, but a hint of seriousness was revealed in his eyes. Jiang Wei nodded and continued, before coming here, I never expected that Mr. Lin would have such a special identity. So I was thinking, if our website could use Mr. Lin's identity as a selling point, perhaps the popularity of Jade Dynasty would reach an even higher level. I wonder what Mr. Lin thinks about this? Jiang Wei was indeed a shrewd man. He was well aware of Lin Feng's immense popularity and large fan base in the entertainment industry. If these fans knew that the brilliant novel Jade Dynasty was also written by Lin Feng, it would undoubtedly trigger a wave of fervent adoration. Lin Feng couldn't help but laugh after hearing this, and readily replied, haha, if Mr. Yang thinks this will indeed make the novel more popular, then of course, no problem. His attitude was very generous. He clearly didn't have many concerns about his identity being used for novel promotion. An hour later, Mr. Lin, I'll go back and arrange for people to redraft a more comprehensive and reasonable contract for you. I sincerely wish that Jade Dynasty will become a hit, selling well nation-wide and even globally. Jiang Wei tightly grasped Lin Feng's hand, speaking earnestly. His face was beaming with a warm and sincere smile, and his eyes revealed full anticipation for the novel's future market performance. Lin Feng also smiled and replied, then I'll trouble Mr. Yang. I believe our cooperation will be very pleasant and achieve complete success. I look forward to further progress. Goodbye. With that, the two shook hands amicably and parted ways. Afterward, Lin Feng walked alone on the bustling street. He sometimes stopped to admire the exquisite goods displayed in the windows of small shops, and sometimes was attracted by the hurried figures of passers-by. Looking at his own tightly wrapped reflection in the glass, Lin Feng suddenly found it a bit amusing. Just over a month ago, he was just an ordinary passerby. Walking on the street would not attract anyone's attention. But a little over a month later he unexpectedly, by a twist of fate, became a big singer. Every day he had to be completely covered to go out. Unconsciously, he arrived at a bustling wet market. It was a cacophony of sounds, with shouts and haggling echoing everywhere, filled with the vibrant atmosphere of daily life. Thinking that there was little left in the refrigerator at home, Lin Feng weaved through the various stalls, carefully selecting fresh vegetables and fruits. He skillfully chatted with the stall owners, asking prices and checking the quality of the produce, and soon had a full basket. Carrying his heavy shopping bags, Lin Feng walked home feeling content. As soon as he got home, Lin Feng didn't rest. He immediately put down his things and eagerly opened his computer and logged into the relevant website. Sure enough, as previously agreed, the new contract had already been sent to his email. He took a deep breath, adjusted his mood and began to read it carefully, word by word. This contract detailed the rights and obligations of both parties, as well as various clauses and rules. Lin Feng dared not be careless in the slightest, meticulously checking every detail. After a careful review, Lin Feng confirmed that there were no issues with the contract. So, he clicked the mouse and successfully completed the online signing process. Looking at the signing successful message displayed on the screen, a huge weight was finally lifted from Lin Feng's heart. At this moment, he felt incredibly relaxed and happy, and immediately uploaded all of his previously saved drafts in one go, just like last time, 2 chapters a day. After Zhang Wei rushed back to the company in a frenzy, he didn't even stop for a sip of water before eagerly opening his computer and logging into his social media account. He quickly selected the precious photo of him and Lin Feng from his phone's album and carefully composed a captivating caption. After much deliberation and revision, and ensuring everything was correct, he decisively clicked the send button. Immediately after, Zhang Wei tirelessly sent messages to the heads of various departments at Chinese novel website, urging them to repost his update. Not long after, this update, like a giant rock thrown into a calm lake, instantly caused a huge stir in the online world. On one hand, the novel Zhu Zian had been gaining continuous popularity and was incredibly hot recently. On the other hand, Lin Feng himself, as a popular singer, possessed extremely high recognition and a massive fanbase. Therefore, as soon as this update was published, it spread at an astonishing speed, quickly appearing on the hot topic headlines of major websites. Oh my goodness! Lin Feng actually has the energy to moonlight as a novelist. Where does he find so much time? Instead of spending his efforts on writing novels, he should create more popular new songs. After all, singing is his main profession. How much future can there be in writing novels? A loyal fan of Lin Feng commented online, unable to help but complain after seeing the update. Exactly. Writing novels takes too much time and energy, and how much money can you make from writing novels these days? With that free time, he might as well focus on singing well and releasing more albums. Someone else, even more bluntly, expressed their confusion and doubt about Lin Feng's cross-border venture into novel writing. What's so great about those so-called songs? Lin Feng should wholeheartedly focus on updating his novel, only then can he satisfy the expectations of us, his vast number of readers. Isn't that right? I've been wondering why this author only updates a mere 2 chapters every day. Turns out he not only has to write novels, but also has to find time for music creation. I say, you should stop getting distracted by writing songs and put all your energy into updating the novel. Wouldn't that be better? We readers are all eagerly waiting for new chapters. Another netizen quickly chimed in. Of course, there were also some die-hard readers who firmly stood in the camp supporting Lin Feng to continue writing novels. For a time, there was much discussion online, and a fierce debate erupted surrounding Lin Feng's part-time novel writing. What Lin Feng never expected happened. His fanbase actually got into a fierce conflict with his readership. This sudden situation completely bewildered Lin Feng. Lin Feng's loyal fans sharply criticized, Lin Feng, don't forget that your main job is a singer. Don't waste your time doing something unprofessional like online writing and being a keyboard warrior. We love listening to you sing and hope you can focus on your music career and produce more excellent songs. However, on the other side, Lin Feng's readers were not to be outdone, eagerly calling out, "Lin Feng, please update the novel quickly. You've already released over a dozen songs, which is enough for your fans. Now, the most important thing is to quickly present the exciting novel plot to everyone. Only by continuously updating the novel is the true path." Fortunately, such extreme fans were only a small minority. The vast majority of fans and readers were incredibly surprised, one might even say dumbfounded, by this. "Oh my family, who can understand how I feel right now?" As a die-hard fan of Lin Feng and also his fervent novel fan, this is simply a double dose of happiness. It's truly exhilarating. Someone couldn't help but exclaim. Another person praised endlessly, as expected of my superstar idol, Lin Feng. Just think, he can create popular and melodious songs like Sunny Day, and also write such stunning and amazing lines as "Deep love brings suffering, a lifetime of suffering. Infatuation is always tormented by heartlessness." Then wouldn't beautiful and touching lyrics like "The sky is azure, waiting for the rain, and I am waiting for you" come to him effortlessly? However, things actually unfolded exactly as Zhang Wei had predicted. When Lin Feng's loyal fans learned that their idol was also involved in the novel world, each of them couldn't suppress their excitement and curiosity, and they all came to investigate. These enthusiastic fans were eager to see what unique charm and wonderful stories this talented singer could create in the world of words. At the same time, those readers who were not originally interested in Lin Feng's songs also had their attention drawn by this sudden news. They were intensely curious, eager to hear what kind of magic Lin Feng's singing possessed that could make so many people fall for it. So, these readers also began to pay attention to Lin Feng's music works. And so, Lin Feng's fans, like a tide, all surged towards the Chinese novel website. They were eager to read the novel written by Lin Feng, to judge whether his writing style was equally excellent and whether the plot was captivating. For a time, Chinese novel website became exceptionally lively due to Lin Feng's new work, and its traffic soared. Not only that, even Kumao music platform quickly reposted the relevant update published by Zhang Wei's platform and commented below, "This is truly unbelievable. We really can't imagine what unexpected surprises Lin Feng will bring to everyone next. He's like a treasure full of infinite possibilities. Every appearance makes people's eyes light up and leaves them amazed." These words undoubtedly further stimulated people's expectations and hopes for Lin Feng's future performances. Coming from Cool Cat, I never expected Lin Feng Da's novel to be so good. He truly is my idol. I hope Lin Feng will also release more new songs while updating his novel. I haven't read a novel since graduating from high school, and Lin Feng Da's novel is truly amazing. I really want to crack open Lin Feng Da's head to see what's inside, why he's so talented. Deep love brings suffering, a lifetime of suffering. Infatuation is only for heartlessness. These two short lines are enough for some so-called scholars to ponder for a lifetime. Lin Feng's songs were almost entirely captivated by the plot of Zhu Zian. The delicate writing style drew them into a world of Xiangxia. Zhu Zian fulfilled all their fantasies about the Xiangxia world. Coming from the novel website, I haven't heard such a good song in a long time. Also, one more thing, hurry up with the updates. Similarly, a portion of novel fans were also attracted by Lin Feng's singing. This brought another huge wave of traffic to Chinese novel website and Cool Cat platform. In the evening, Ye Xiaoyu called Lin Feng to tell him she wouldn't be home for dinner. No sooner had Lin Feng hung up than the phone rang again. Seeing the caller ID, Lin Feng answered. "Hello Sister Chen, is everything alright so late?" The caller was none other than Chen Zixuan. Lin Feng was grateful to Chen Zixuan. When he was ostracized by all the media, Chen Zixuan was the first to speak up for him on her social media platform. And when he counterattacked, Chen Zixuan came to Feng's company with just one call to help record the female part of Bai Yao Wo Don't Bite Me. "Little Lin, I didn't expect it. Your song compositions are so excellent, and your novels are also amazing. My husband and I are both hooked on your novels." Chen Zixuan's voice came through the phone. "Haha, Sister Chen, you're too kind. If you have any suggestions for improvement, please let me know," Lin Feng said with a smile. "How could a great talent like you need our suggestions? If there's really anything, it's that your updates are too slow. Only 2 chapters a day isn't enough." Lin Feng was speechless for a moment. Sister, did you call me just to rush an update? Of course not. By the way, little Lin, do you know Zhang Xiaoyu? Chen Zixuan replied. I don't know her, but I know that when I was ostracized by the entire internet, Sister Xiaoyu was one of the few who spoke up for me, Lin Feng said with a smile. It's like this, do you have time now? Zhang Xiaoyu wants to invite you to dinner tonight. Tonight? Lin Feng asked. That's right, Xiaoyu just arrived in Magic City today and wants to get to know you, Chen Zixuan said. All right then, where's the address? I'll head over now. Lin Feng thought that since Ye Xiaoyu wasn't coming back for dinner, it would save him from cooking. At the newly opened Western restaurant, I'll send you the address. With that, Chen Zixuan sent the location to Lin Feng. Lin Feng nodded, went upstairs to get his car keys and drove to the Michelin restaurant Chen Zixuan mentioned. The newly opened Western restaurant wasn't too far, about half an hour's drive. After parking, Lin Feng walked into the Michelin restaurant. Hello sir, are you alone? Because Lin Feng was wearing a mask, the waiter didn't recognize him. Excuse me, where is private room 103? Lin Feng asked. Okay sir, the second private room to your left is it? The waiter said very politely. Okay, thank you. Lin Feng softly thanked her and went to private room 103. When Lin Feng opened the private room door, there was only one woman inside. The woman looked about 30 years old, with a delicate doll-like face, two very cute apple cheeks, and a pair of sparkling, expressive eyes. Oh my god, Diva Zhang Xiaoyu. The waiter almost couldn't help but scream when she saw Zhang Xiaoyu. I'm sorry, I'm just here to eat this time, please don't spread it around. Zhang Xiaoyu put her finger to her lips in a shushing gesture and said in a low voice. Okay, teacher Zhang Xiaoyu, can I take a picture with you? Female waiter was thrilled. After taking a photo with Zhang Xiaoyu, the excited female waiter walked out of the private room. I'm sorry Lin Feng, for calling you out so late. Please sit down quickly. Saying that, Zhang Xiaoyu motioned for Lin Feng to sit. Teacher Zhang Xiaoyu, you're really too kind. I haven't had a chance to thank you for what happened before, Lin Feng said as he sat down and took off his mask. Oh, those were minor things. I just can't stand those people. If a song is good, it's good. If they have the ability, they should write such good songs themselves, Zhang Xiaoyu said with a smile. Teacher Zhang Xiaoyu, is there something specific you wanted to discuss by inviting me to dinner this time? Lin Feng asked. Don't call me teacher, I should be a little older than you. Just call me Sister Xiaoyu, and I won't be polite and will call you little Lin, Zhang Xiaoyu said casually. Then I won't be polite, Lin Feng said. Seeing Zhang Xiaoyu being so casual, if he were still to act shy, it would seem a bit pretentious. By the way, did Sister Chen tell you why I invited you to dinner this time? Zhang Xiaoyu asked. Because Chen Zixuan was 5 or 6 years older than Zhang Xiaoyu usually referred to Chen Zixuan as Sister Chen. No, Sister Chen just said that when I arrived, Sister Xiaoyu would tell me personally. While the two were talking, the dishes were already served, by the same waiter as before. When she saw Lin Feng, she couldn't help but let out another scream. Looking at Zhang Xiaoyu and then at Lin Feng, the waiter seemed to understand something. This made Lin Feng feel a bit speechless. This is probably how celebrity rumors spread. After that, the waiter took another photo with Lin Feng. Finally, seeing the waiter's expectant look, Lin Feng, Zhang Xiaoyu, and the waiter took another group photo, and only then did the waiter leave contentedly. Little Lin, try some quickly. I heard this Western restaurant just opened, and it's my first time here to see how the food is. After the waiter left, Zhang Xiaoyu immediately said to Lin Feng. The two ate and chatted, from music to art, and from art to other topics. Sister Xiaoyu, you can just say what you need to, Lin Feng said with a smile at this point. All right, since you put it that way, then I'll be direct. I'm probably going to release a new album soon, but as you know, a new album needs at least 11 songs. I'm still short a few songs, so I was wondering if you could write a few for me, Zhang Xiaoyu said in a low voice at this point. Of course, I will definitely pay double the market price to purchase them. Sister Xiaoyu, that's too formal. You helped me so much before. Talking about money for just a few songs feels a bit vulgar, Lin Feng said with a smile. By the way, Sister Xiaoyu, how many songs are you still short? Lin Feng asked. Actually, I've already recorded 10 songs. I just need one more main track, Zhang Xian said in a low voice. When she heard Lin Feng say he didn't want money, she immediately felt a bit embarrassed. Okay, no problem. Lin Feng readily agreed. Sister, can I add you on Fakesen? I'll send you the demo and lyrics around tomorrow afternoon, and you can familiarize yourself with them. If you trust me, you can come to our company the day after tomorrow morning, and I'll help you record it. No problem then, thank you little Lin. Yang Xian was beaming with joy when she heard Lin Feng agree so readily. After adding Fakesen, looking at Lin Feng's Fakesen nickname, there's actually a master. Yang Xian was a bit speechless. Come on, eat more. Seeing that the two of them were so engrossed in talking about the album that they hadn't eaten, Zhang Xian immediately picked up her chopsticks and quickly put food on Lin Feng's plate. At 9:30 at night, the city's hustle and bustle were gradually swallowed by the darkness. Ye Xiaoyu, who had been busy all day, finally stopped her work. She stretched with a big, languid yawn, like a deflated ball, then weakly slumped into her comfortable office chair. Just then, a soft knock sounded, and Ye Xiaotong gracefully entered Ye Xiaoyu's office. She held a neat stack of folders in her hand, her steps light yet steady. Walking to the desk, Ye Xiaotong smiled and said, President Yi, I've finished organizing all the meeting materials for tomorrow and placed them on your desk. Also, I was wondering if you could spare half an hour around 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon? A reporter from the financial channel wants to do an exclusive interview with you. This interview was confirmed last week. Hearing this, the already exhausted Ye Xiaoyu couldn't help but let out a long sigh, her body slumping completely into the chair as if all her strength had been drained. She muttered to herself, why are there still so many things waiting for me to handle? At this moment, she truly didn't even feel like moving a single finger. However, Ye Xiaotong ignored Ye Xiaoyu's complaints. She simply took an important document from the folder, gently handed it to Ye Xiaoyu and softly said, President Yi, please sign here. Ye Xiaoyu reluctantly raised her hand to take the document, while mumbling, sigh, I've clearly noticed my skin isn't as good as before lately. It's become dry and rough, not to mention it's lost its former hydrated glow. Xiaotong, quickly help me check, do I have dark circles under my eyes? With that, she tilted her head for Ye Xiaotong to examine, while signing her name on the document with a flourish. Oh, older female cousin, I heard from colleagues that a new Western restaurant has opened not far from our company. I heard their dishes are not only varied, but also quite delicious. How about we go try it together? Ye Xiaotong said with a beaming smile as she took the document from Ye Xiaoyu's hand, suggesting enthusiastically. When work was over, Ye Xiaotong naturally addressed Ye Xiaoyu as older female cousin. However, Ye Xiaoyu seemed a bit listless. She responded weakly, forget it, Xiaotong. The only thing I want to do right now is hurry home, take a good, long shower, and then lie comfortably on my soft, big bed. I don't want to go anywhere. Hearing Ye Xiaoyu say this, Ye Xiaotong quickly persuaded her, all right, older female cousin. Actually, I noticed this afternoon that you didn't eat much. Don't worry, I've already considered that. I've already pre-ordered the food and had the restaurant pack it for us. We just need to stop by and pick it up. How about it, no problem now, right? After speaking, Ye Xiaotong didn't wait for Ye Xiaoyu's answer. She turned and quickly walked out of Ye Xiaoyu's office, calling back, older female cousin, hurry up. I'll put these files back in my office and be right back to find you. About 10 minutes later, Ye Xiaoyu finally finished tidying up and slowly walked out of the office. No way, Xiaotong, even Western restaurants offer takeout service now? On the way to the underground parking lot, Ye Xiaoyu turned to Ye Xiaotong beside her, asking with a puzzled expression. Ye Xiaotong couldn't help but laugh after hearing her, replying, older female cousin, you're joking. What Western restaurant would allow customers to casually pack up food? But I have my ways, and I naturally have a method to make them make an exception for us. Ye Xiaoyu immediately became interested, pressing, oh look at you, so capable. Quickly tell me, what kind of magical method is it? Ye Xiaotong's face was beaming with a proud smile as she said mysteriously, hee, it's actually very simple. When I ordered, I used your name, older female cousin. Those in the catering business might not give me face, but for the famous President Yi, they definitely have to show some respect. And I ordered several portions at once. Of course, the bill is under the company's name, and it goes through the company's financial procedures. After speaking, she quickened her pace and dashed towards the car. Upon hearing this, Ye Xiaoyu's eyes widened, and she playfully scolded, oh I say, You girl, it's just one meal, and you're even going to claim the expense from finance? I think you're overqualified staying by my side as a secretary. In my opinion, you're more suited to work in the finance department. Although she complained verbally, her feet unconsciously sped up, closely following Ye Xiaotong ahead. Half an hour later, Ye Xiaoyu and Ye Xiaotong finally arrived at the Western restaurant. After parking the car, the two pushed the door open and entered. As Ye Xiaoyu and Ye Xiaotong just entered the Western restaurant, Lin Feng and Zhang Xian happened to be coming out of a private room. The two groups of people passed each other by. Ye Xiaotong then explained that she had ordered several Western meals for takeout. It was clear that the front desk attendant had already been notified and immediately went to retrieve the packed Western food. The decor of this Western restaurant is quite nice, Ye Xiaotong said softly, turning around to look at the surroundings. However, the next moment, Ye Xiaotong saw Lin Feng, who was leaving with Zhang Xian. Although Lin Feng was wearing a mask, Ye Xiaotong recognized him at a glance. At this sight, Ye Xiaotong became displeased. Good heavens, old man, just as I was starting to have a better impression of you these past few days, you, young man, actually secretly ran off to a date with another girl here. Are you worthy of your older female cousin? Is a female CEO worth hundreds of millions working so hard to leave work so late? Suddenly, many ancient heroes flashed through Ye Xiaotong's mind. For example, Wu Song, who violently beat Sima Xiangru, or Wu Zhang, who violently beat Pan Renmei, or the tiger, fighting hero, who violently beat Ximen King. Wait, something seems a bit off, but Ye Xiaotong couldn't bother with so much. She had to take her older female cousin to catch the adulterer today. Older female cousin, take the things and follow me, Ye Xiaotong said very seriously to Ye Xiaoyu after the packed Western food was brought over. What's wrong with you? Ye Xiaoyu asked, a little confused, seeing Ye Xiaotong's serious expression. I'm taking you to catch the adulterer, Ye Xiaotong said coldly, and with that, she pulled Ye Xiaoyu and quickly ran towards the door. Xiao Lin, thank you so much. Lin Feng and Zhang Xian were waiting by the roadside for the car to pick up Zhang Xian. You're welcome, older female cousin, it's just a song, Lin Feng said with a smile. Deep love brings bitter suffering, a lifetime of bitterness. Infatuation only leads to suffering for the heartless. Zhang Xian suddenly recited this line, and Lin Feng said in surprise, You read novels too? I'm a genuine novel fan. Your great work has been so popular recently, so of course, I've been paying attention. But why is there only the first half and not the second half? I don't have the ability to continue the second half. Lin Feng laughed. Then you are too modest, Zhang Xian replied. Lin Feng was, of course, speechless. He really didn't have that ability. These lines were also plagiarized by him, but from another world. These two lovebirds are chatting quite happily. Ye Xiaotong and Ye Xiaoyu, peeking out their small heads from the side, secretly watched everything. Ye Xiaotong immediately said angrily, seeing Lin Feng and Zhang Xian talking and laughing. Xiaotong, isn't it bad for us to do this? Ye Xiaoyu asked. This was the first time she had done something like this since she grew up. You don't understand, older female cousin. This is how you catch someone in the act, Ye Xiaotong whispered. All right, my car is here. After a while, Zhang Xian said to Lin Feng with a smile. As she spoke, she got into her car, waved to Lin Feng and left. Seeing the car that picked up Zhang Xian drive away, Lin Feng turned to get his own car and leave. However, just then his phone rang. Hello. Hello, brother-in-law, older female cousin and I are home. Where are you? Ye Xiaotong's voice came from the other end of the phone. Me? I'm eating out, Lin Feng replied. That's nice, where are you eating? And with whom? Ye Xiaotong asked again. Just at a newly opened Western restaurant on a street I don't even know, with Zhang Xian. You know Zhang Xian, right? Lin Feng answered truthfully. Till Ye Xiaotong's scream came from the phone, and Lin Feng quickly moved the phone away. However, at this moment, Lin Feng suddenly heard that the scream seemed to be not very far from him. He looked around and indeed saw the two small heads of Ye Xiaotong and Ye Xiaoyu. All right, isn't it uncomfortable crouching there all this time? Come out. Lin Feng hung up the phone and said softly with a laugh towards the direction where Ye Xiaotong and Ye Xiaoyu were crouching. Older female cousin, brother-in-law is looking in our direction. Did he find us? Ye Xiaotong whispered to Ye Xiaoyu. He probably did, Ye Xiaoyu nodded. No reason I disguised myself so well. It must be you, older female cousin, who gave us away, Ye Xiaotong said confidently. Immediately, Ye Xiaotong changed her expression and said to Lin Feng with a beaming smile, "Oh brother-in-law, what a coincidence, you're here too. Not strange for me to be here, but it should be very strange for you to be here, right?" Lin Feng said with a smile. "Didn't you tell me that you and your older female cousin had already gone home?" "Did I say that? You must have heard wrong, right?" Ye Xiaotong was being a bit shameless now. Then Ye Xiaotong looked left and right and asked, "Hey, where's Zhang Xiaoyu? Why don't I see her?" "She left a long time ago," Lin Feng said. Ye Xiaotong was a little regretful. Then, as if she remembered something, she grabbed Lin Feng's clothes and questioned him. "Tell me, how do you know Zhang Xiaoyu? You should know you're a married man. My older female cousin works so hard managing the company every day, and you, on the other hand, are flirting with a female celebrity. Tell me, are you trying to be like Sima Xiangru?" Good heavens, this girl's mood changes faster than flipping a book. "Xiaotong, stop messing around," Ye Xiaoyu said from the side. "No, he must explain clearly. If it's really like this older female cousin, you should divorce him, and then we'll find the media to expose him," Ye Xiaotong insisted. "Where did your thoughts go? Didn't Zhang Xiaoyu speak up for me before? Now she's releasing a new album and asked me to help write a lead song. That's all it is," Lin Feng said helplessly. "Really?" Ye Xiaotong asked suspiciously. "It's not real, it's cooked." Lin Feng was speechless for a moment. "Consider yourself lucky, brother-in-law. I'm telling you, you can't let down my older female cousin. Look at my older female cousin, she has the figure, she has the looks. If my older female cousin became a celebrity, she would probably be a superstar diva by now," Ye Xiaotong said, and then her expression suddenly changed. Lin Feng had just straightened his collar, but the next moment, Ye Xiaotong grabbed it again. "I'm freaking," Lin Feng was speechless. "Brother-in-law, what did you say? Zhang Xiaoyu is releasing a new album? When is it coming out? And she asked you to write a song for her? Have you written it yet? I'm telling you, you must write it well," Ye Xiaotong said excitedly. Lin Feng finally understood. It turned out Ye Xiaotong was a fan of Zhang Xiaoyu. "Didn't we just meet today? I'll write it tomorrow, and once it's done, I'll send it to her," Lin Feng said. "Oh right. The day after tomorrow, Zhang Xiaoyu and I have an appointment to record this lead song at Xiao Fan's company. Older female cousin, I'm taking a day off tomorrow." Ye Xiaotong quickly turned her head and said. Ye Xiaoyu looked at Lin Feng with a speechless expression, wondering why he was telling this girl such things. "Also Xiaotong, in the future, when you curse, can you please not call me Sima Xiangru? It's too dirty," Lin Feng said seriously at this moment. Among all those historical figures, Sima Xiangru was the one Lin Feng disliked the most. He was purely a scumbag among scumbags. As a poor man, this scumbag shamelessly followed someone to a high-end gathering. At the gathering, he used a song, Phoenix Seeks Mate, to hook up with Huo Wenjun. Huo Wenjun also had a problem with her brain. Phoenix seeks mate, Phoenix seeks mate. It was true that she was the phoenix, but how could this dog-like fellow, who was nothing but a pile of excrement, be worthy of being called a phoenix? However, that wasn't the most disgusting part. The most disgusting part was that Zhuo Wenjun's family was rich, and seeing Sima Xiangru's poor state, Zhuo Wenjun then used money to support Sima Xiangru in business. When the business was good and money was made, any person know, even a dog would know to be grateful. The first thing Sima Xiangru, this scumbag, thought of was wanting to get a concubine. Just this kind of person, Lin Feng thought that if he could travel back to ancient times, he would definitely throw him into a cesspit to choke to death, and then turn around and apologize to the cesspit. Furthermore, Zhuo Wenjun was also brainless. For a man like that, she could have just had him killed. Why bother writing a white-haired lament? What else could that be but brainless? "Brother-in-law, did you drive here today?" Ye Xiaotong blinked her bright, lively eyes, looking at Lin Feng with a face full of anticipation, and asked sweetly. Lin Feng smiled and nodded, confirming it. Hearing this answer, Ye Xiaotong jumped up excitedly, cheering, "That's great." As she spoke, she quickly took her portion of the exquisite Western meal from Ye Xiaoyu's hand, then playfully waved at Ye Xiaoyu and said with a grin, Since brother-in-law has a car, you can just ride home with him. I'll pick you up tomorrow morning." Before she finished speaking, Ye Xiaoyu didn't give Ye Xiaoyu a chance to react or refuse, and like a cheerful little bird, she skipped directly out of the restaurant. Lin Feng turned to look at the somewhat dazed Ye Xiaoyu beside him and said with a smile, "Then just wait here for a moment, I'll go get the car." With that, he turned and walked towards the parking lot with steady steps. Ye Xiaoyu watched Lin Feng's receding figure and nodded gently. A gentle breeze brushed through her hair as she stood quietly in place, the surrounding hustle and bustle seemingly unrelated to her. Lin Feng skillfully controlled the steering wheel, and the car drove smoothly on the elevated road. He focused on the road ahead, while Ye Xiaoyu sat quietly in the passenger seat beside him, occasionally glancing at the fleeting scenery outside the window. Finally, Lin Feng broke the silence and asked, "How did you two end up at that Western restaurant?" His voice was calm, but revealed a hint of curiosity. Ye Xiaoyu turned her head, met Lin Feng's gaze, and replied softly, "Xiao Tong said that the new Western restaurant tasted very good, and she even specifically had them pack a few portions. It happened to be on our way, so we thought we'd go pick it up. Who knew we'd run into you here?" After speaking, she smiled slightly, a faint curve appearing at the corner of her lips. Lin Feng only responded with a faint "oh" after hearing her, and then the two fell into a brief silence again. A subtle atmosphere filled the car, as if an invisible force made them both choose to remain silent for a while. Time passed minute by minute, and after several minutes, as the atmosphere became increasingly awkward, Ye Xiaoyu couldn't help but speak again. This time, her voice was still gentle. "Are you still working overtime writing lyrics and composing music tonight? Otherwise, what will you give them tomorrow?" Lin Feng turned to look at Ye Xiaoyu, a confident smile appearing on his face, and replied, "Don't worry, with my ability, this little thing won't trouble me. Even if I start writing tomorrow, it'll be perfectly fine." His tone was very relaxed, as if he had full confidence in his abilities. That's true after all, he's someone who can write 10 hit songs in 10 days. Ye Xiaoyu nodded slightly, a look of admiration on her face. Immediately after, she seemed to suddenly remember something, turned to look at Lin Feng, and asked curiously, "You said you agreed to write a song for Zhang Xiaoyu in this time to thank her for speaking out in support of you back then?" Lin Feng nodded gently, responding, "That's right, if it weren't for her righteous words at the time my situation would probably have been much more difficult. So, writing a song for her is just my way of expressing my gratitude." He paused, then added, "The other day, Xiao Fan told me that a singer was willing to pay me $1 million to help write a song, but I refused it outright." At this point, Lin Feng couldn't help but show a hint of pride. Hearing this, Ye Xiaoyu's eyes widened, and she said in surprise, "Wow, you're really amazing now, a single song can sell for over $1 million, so when can you pay me the rent you owe me?" Lin Feng somehow felt that Ye Xiaoyu's surprised expression was fake. As the conversation unfolded, the atmosphere between the two instantly became lively. Upon hearing this, Lin Feng immediately cried out in distress, "Oh no, really? You're bringing up rent at a time like this? I work hard every day cooking for you." Ye Xiaoyu crossed her arms, raised an eyebrow and retorted, "But I pay for the groceries and cooking." Lin Feng looked helpless and said with a wry smile, "Boss Yi, you're a big shot making hundreds of thousands a minute. Why bother haggling over such small things with us poor commoners?" "All right then, if that's the case, I won't ask you for rent anymore. But I want to ask you, when you were in trouble I actively came to you to be your spokesperson, wasn't that lending you a helping hand?" Ye Xiaoyu stared straight at Lin Feng at this moment, asking softly. "That's without a doubt. If it weren't for your help, I'm afraid at this very moment, those people who don't know the truth would still be slandering and defaming me without restraint." Lin Feng nodded heavily, answering with a serious expression. Recalling this incident, he knew deeply that Ye Xiaoyu's contribution was indispensable for him to successfully and quickly escape the whirlwind of public opinion unscathed. The support and assistance she provided were undoubtedly as precious as timely help in a snowstorm for Lin Feng. "All right then, since everything has been made clear, let's proceed according to your usual rules. So, you also have to write a song for me." Ye Xiaoyu said this, a brilliant smile blooming on her face like a spring flower, her eyes sparkling with anticipation as she quietly looked at Lin Feng in front of her. It's her, she's the killer. She kidnapped my heart, making me exchange it with love. I've already heard this song before, so it doesn't count. Besides, you're even singing it a cappella. That's too perfunctory, Ye Xiaoyu said with a speechless expression, gently patting Lin Feng and playfully scolding him with a sweet laugh. Stop messing around, I'm driving right now, aren't I? After thinking for a moment, Lin Feng said with a smile, how about you pick one yourself, or you can tell me what kind of song you like, that works too. Ye Xiaoyu giggled and replied playfully, it's actually very simple, just write whatever you think of. But there's one condition, the song you write for me absolutely cannot be uploaded online. I want to keep it as my exclusive phone ringtone. Lin Feng nodded without hesitation, readily agreeing, no problem, leave it to me. I'll definitely create a custom song just for you. Hearing this, Ye Xiaoyu was satisfied, and then as if she remembered something, she continued, oh right, that song you sang just now was also quite good. You have to record a full version of that for me too. It's over 2 million gone. It was almost 11 p.m. when he got home. Back home, Ye Xiaoyu was enjoying her meal in the living room. Lin Feng told her to put the dishes in the sink after she finished, and he would wash them the next day. After Lin Feng took a hot shower, he returned to his room. He searched online for some of Zhang Xiaoyu's songs. Since he had promised her a song, it was natural for him to understand her previous style. After listening to a few of Zhang Xiaoyu's songs, Lin Feng understood her vocal timbre. Her voice was very clear and bright, full of power and extremely penetrating, with high recognition. It was like a forest in the early morning, with all things awakening and a chorus of birdsong. Such a voice was one that all female singers envied. This made Lin Feng think of a female singer whose voice was said to be kissed by angels. However, what was strange was that Lin Feng always felt that she had been holding back her voice in her previous songs, never fully releasing it. This made Lin Feng feel very displeased. Such a voice was almost buried by these people. He glanced at the time. It was already past 12 a.m. Now that he knew Zhang Xiaoyu's vocal characteristics, the next steps would be much simpler. The next morning, Lin Feng woke up at 6 a.m. as usual, brushed his teeth, washed his face, and made breakfast. However, there was one difference. Now Lin Feng also had to bring breakfast for Ye Xiaoyu every day. At first, Ye Xiaoyu was a bit embarrassed, but after a while, she got used to it. Sometimes, she would even tell Lin Feng in advance what she wanted for breakfast. After preparing breakfast, Lin Feng went into the recording studio that Ye Xiaoyu had prepared for him and began recording the accompaniment for Zhang Xiaoyu. The accompaniment for this song was not particularly complex, yet the melody was exceptionally beautiful. In just over an hour, not only was the accompaniment recorded, but a demo was also made. After uploading it to his phone, he sent it to Zhang Xiaoyu on Faxen. The lyrics would be even simpler, as they were all memorized in his mind. After completing all of this, Lin Feng once again opened his computer and began updating his Yuzian. At this time, the Chinese novel website had updated to the point where Bai Yao died blocking the sword for Zhang Xiaoyu, and Zhang Xiaoyu transformed from the naive Qing disciple into Ghost Lai, the blood young master of the demonic sect. With Bai Yao's death, her fans cursed at Lin Feng one after another, especially when Zhang Xiaoyu said by Bai Yao's ice bed that the figure he saw in the full moon well was hers. The hearts of Bai Yao's fans shattered. However, they still had a glimmer of hope. After all, this was a Xiangxia novel, and perhaps Bai Yao would be resurrected in the near future. Lu Zuqi's fans, on the other hand, were smug, directly taunting Bai Yao's fans. They said things like, as a second female lead, she stole so much screen time from the female lead in the early stages, now her comeuppance has arrived. However, Bai Yao's fans also began to retaliate, saying things like, Lu Zuqi is actually a green TB*TCH. When the immortal slaying sword fell, only Bai Yao would block the sword for Zhang Xiaoyu. Lu Zuqi didn't even have the courage to step forward. Lu Zuqi's fans replied, Bai Yao's shameless fans really have twisted morals. Bai Yao likes Zhang Xiaoyu, but she constantly wants Zhang Xiaoyu to betray his sect and pushes him towards evil demonic ways. Peach, if it weren't for that green TB*TCH Lu Zuqi blocking her, Bai Yao would have taken Zhang Xiaoyu away from Qing long ago. She really is a green TB*TCH. Oh, by the way, have you read the latest chapter? Zhang Xiaoyu said the person he saw in the full moon well was Bai Yao, not the green TB*TCH. How about that, aren't you mad? What do we have to be mad about? There's no need to get so angry with a dead person. Who said Bai Yao is dead? Ghost Lei will definitely be able to revive Bai Yao. Then let's talk about it when Bai Yao's shameless self comes back to life, ha ha ha. Bai Yao's fans called Luzuki a green TB*ch, while Luzuki's fans called Bai Yao's shameless self. Initially, it was just sarcastic remarks targeting the novel's characters, but as both sides' emotions grew more agitated, and with others fanning the flames, the two fan groups immediately began to personally attack each other with limitless insults. If******, your mother's F*******, If******, your grandma's F*******, you F******* at a F*******. Your mom is big F*******. Seeing such comments, Lin Feng was speechless for a moment. Because almost all these fans were female, sometimes Lin Feng really wanted to register a throwaway account and ask, "Do you even have the tools to say such things? What, are you going to grind ink? Can you record a short video and send it to me privately when you grind? Lu Benwei is awesome. Everyone stand up. What the hell is this again?" For a time, Bai Yao's fans and Luzuki's fans started tearing each other apart online, from the Chinese novel website to Kaindu Taiba. The two fan groups were now at loggerheads. This was especially true in the Juzian novel forum, where almost every post had fans from both sides arguing. Someone posted a thread in the Juzian forum. The original text was, "Without using the immortal slaying sword, whose strength is greater, Ghost King or true person Dao Xuan?" At first, someone was still chatting seriously, but a Luzuki fan replied, "True person Dao Xu, and is definitely more powerful. He killed Bai Yao's shameless self with one sword." It was just this one sentence that caused countless Bai Yao fans and Luzuki fans to flood the originally rational and calm thread, immediately starting to argue without any preamble. The intensity of this was comparable to two idol fan groups tearing each other apart. And Bai Yao's fan forum would periodically go and bomb Luzuki's fan forum. And Luzuki's forum would also go and bomb Bai Yao's forum. Kaindu Taiba hadn't been this lively in a long time. Meanwhile, Zhang Wei's mouth was stretched to his ears from smiling, watching the Chinese letter data of clicks and readership grow wildly. The Chinese novel website had never had a novel this popular before. One time when Lin Feng logged into the Chinese novel website, he was startled to see 999 plus private messages. All of them were asking whether the female lead was Luzuki or Bai Yao. Did Zhang Zhao often like Bai Yao or Luzuki more in his heart? Would Bai Yao be resurrected? Who did Zhang Zhao often end up with in the end? These series of questions bombarded him. Lin Feng didn't write for a while, but once he started, he wrote until past 5 p.m. Suddenly, his phone rang. It was Ye Xiaoyu calling. She said she was going to attend the meat company's celebration banquet tonight and would be home late. After hanging up, Jiang Shaiyan also sent a text message. "Sorry, I've been recording songs. I listened to your accompaniment, it's very good. I'll go to Vanishing Stars at 9 a.m. tomorrow. See you tomorrow." "Okay, see you at Vanishing Stars tomorrow," Lin Feng replied. The next day, bright and early, even before 7 o'clock, the doorbell rang. Coming. Lin Feng had just finished making breakfast and immediately went to open the door. "Brother-in-law," the person at the door was none other than Ye Xiaotong. "Xiaotong is here, come in. I'll get you some breakfast," Lin Feng said with a smile. "No need, brother-in-law, we can just buy 2 steamed buns outside," Ye Xiaotong said softly, her eyes darting left and right as she spoke. "What are you looking for?" Lin Feng found Ye Xiaotong's behavior amusing. "Where's my older female cousin?" Ye Xiaotong asked. "Xiaotong is here, hurry and eat breakfast." At this moment, Ye Xiaoyu had just changed and was about to sit down at the dining table for breakfast. "What time is it, and you're still eating breakfast?" Ye Xiaoyu was pulled up by Ye Xiaotong as soon as she sat down. "Brother-in-law, we're leaving. You should eat your breakfast quickly. I'll drop older female cousin off at the company and then come back." Ye Xiaotong smiled at Lin Feng as she pushed the reluctant Ye Xiaoyu into the car. Lin Feng nodded blankly. What day was it today? That wasn't important, but Ye Xiaotong was incredibly excited. Today was the day her idol was going to Vanishing Stars to record a new song. and the producer was her now super admired brother-in-law. When Lin Feng told her the night before last, she was overjoyed. So she took a day off from Ye Xiaoyu, but there was one problem. Ye Xiaoyu's daily pickup and drop-off was handled by her. So, to avoid delays, Ye